Today we're going to be reviewing this Royal Canin kitten cat food. It is the wet type of cat food from Royal Canin, and I'm just going to give my honest opinion on this. I really don't like being negative or saying anything bad towards any brands, but this is not one of my favorite foods, and I wouldn't really recommend it as a food, and we'll get into that in a minute. It's because of the list of ingredients. So I'm just going to give my honest opinion, and while it may not be horrible because the ingredients are unnamed, we're going to take a look at the ingredients now. And the number one ingredient is water sufficient for processing. And then you have pork byproducts, chicken byproducts, chicken liver. So what is that, the fourth ingredient? One, two. The fourth ingredient is actually a named ingredient. Pork liver, chicken. So actual chicken meat is the sixth ingredient down the line. Then we have wheat gluten, which I don't like. Powdered cellulose, which many people say is basically processed sawdust. Now, I don't know where they derive their or get their cellulose from, whether it's plant stems or tree sawdust or what, but that's basically what it is. I mean, cellulose is plant matter that's ground up and dried into a powder form. Most websites refer to it as refined wood pulp. And now, referring back to the pork and chicken byproducts, chicken byproducts are any part of the chicken carcass other than the meat, such as necks, feet, undeveloped eggs, intestines, and it excludes like excessive amounts of feathers. But they can include enough feathers that would be reasonable, like unavoidable in processing. Just, even when you get chicken wings at a restaurant, sometimes there's little pieces of feathers still stuck in them. But you never know. I don't know what the exact percentages of that is. But the thing is they don't name the ingredients. They just use the byproduct meal, and it could be all intestines or feet or something. So they don't tell you what it is. You don't know. And that's the same thing with the pork byproducts. Pork byproducts are like blood, bones, hides, skin, lard, feet, internal organs, and small intestines. And again, they don't come out and say what this stuff is and what percentages, and the pet food companies may not even know the percentages because they probably buy it as like a byproduct meal and it's probably just ground up and you really don't know the percentages. But on a positive note, without being totally negative towards byproduct meal, it can include organs, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I make raw cat food and you're supposed to include two secreting organs, so kidneys, pancreas, brain is actually secreting organs. I mean, there's different ones, but you're basically supposed to include two different secreting organs in any cat food recipe. So that may not be a bad thing if they're including the two secreting organs, but the thing is it's unnamed, so they don't just come out and say. I mean, if they were trying to use just kidneys and liver, then it would say that. So the byproduct meal comes probably processed and it's got feet and every intestines and all this bone and everything in it. And they don't really tell you exactly what it is. And then they do name liver specifically later in the ingredients. But anyways, I mean, the main ingredients are water and byproducts. So I'm not happy about that, or thrilled about it. And then it comes in with the wheat gluten and the powdered cellulose, pork plasma. It has brewer's rice, which is another vegetable ingredient, flour, which I don't like for cats. Gelatin is some type of binder. Hydrolyzed chicken liver, so liver again in some other form, and fish oil I like, and then it has, calcium carbonate. It does have carrageenan, which if you watch Jackson Galaxy or see his Instagram, he's recently had some posts about carrageenan, which has been linked to cause cancer. Now, I haven't got into this and totally done some research on this, but some of the comments on his posts said that that evidence is anecdotal and that there's certain forms of carrageenan that do not cause cancer. So I'm not sure what the verdict is on that, but there is the possibility of a link in cancer with that ingredient. And back to the calcium carbonate, that is used as an agent that regulates pH in food, and it also is a calcium supplement. So, I mean, it's not really horrible there. As I mentioned a few seconds ago, it does have fish oil, which I like, no problem there. And it does have guar gum, which I don't think is a great ingredient either. I try to eliminate any plant-based ingredients, but the rest of all this stuff is going to be your vitamins and supplements that make this AAFCO certifiable as a balanced meal. So the rest of it is all your vitamins and everything. But just going by what I've said so far, that's why I'm not totally thrilled about it as far as the byproducts. The water sufficient for processing is the #1 ingredient. Chicken isn't named until the whatever sixth ingredient or whatever, fourth or one, two, three. The sixth ingredient is the chicken meat. The wheat gluten I don't like. The cellulose I don't like. So it's not my #1 choice. But I do go ahead and feed this can of food to my cat because I don't think one time is going to hurt her. And she's on a raw diet. Like I said, she's on a raw diet 99% of the time. So when I forget to thaw her food out, or I can't thaw out in time and it's frozen, I'll give her a can of wet food. So she gets a can of wet food like once every week or two. And that's when I'll do these reviews on cat food. So we're going to move right along. Remember that cats are obligate carnivores, so I try to eliminate any plant-based food out of their diet that I can. And here's what the Royal Canin looks like when you open the can and kind of break it up for your cat. And I'm just going to let her enjoy this. And again, my cat is a savage beast when it comes to eating food. I think she will pretty much eat anything. I have heard some people say in my family that their cats don't really like this food. Mavi will eat anything. So she scarfs it down, but that's not really saying much. Because Mavi will eat toothpicks if I would let her. And that's pretty much going to conclude this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you catch my drift about what I'm saying here. Remember, the positive things are that chicken byproduct meal can include organ meat, which is not necessarily bad. So if they're actually being responsible and trying to feed the appropriate amounts of secreting organs, which is part of a proper balanced raw diet, then that's not a bad thing. However, in my experience and from everything I read on the internet, everybody says to avoid byproducts because they don't have to label what percentages are in it, and it probably just comes as some ground up paste or something in bulk form to the pet food factory from the slaughterhouse, and it's probably different every time. I mean, it's going to have bones and intestines and feet and whatever all just ground up. So I doubt it's pure secreting organs, especially since later on in the ingredients they list liver as an ingredient, chicken liver and pork liver separately. So they're using the byproducts as a big bulk filler type of portion for the food. And again, there's a pretty notable amount of vegetable derived stuff in here with the wheat gluten, the powdered cellulose, the brewer's rice, the flour, gelatin, so again, I've done some reviews on some other foods, and if you want to watch my March Madness video, you'll see one of my top picks so far that I found. And I'm not going to get into that now because this is about Royal Canin kitten cat food. And I'm willing to bet that their adult foods are pretty similar. In fact, I think they are as far as the ingredients, but don't quote me on that. But if you're learning from this video and you happen to be feeding your cat the adult and you read the ingredients, you'll be better informed to know what they are. So it's probably similar, but I'm going to just kind of end this video here. And I hope you learned something. And I'm going to keep doing this. I mean, I'm just going to keep buying different brands of canned food, and I'll go over the ingredients with you guys as I use them. And in the meantime, she's going to get her raw diet. So everybody have a good day, good week, and I'll see you next time.